shedding has created a situation whereby power only comes to visitors and then it goes, which is quite regrettable. We hope that it will be resolved. But nonetheless, I am very happy to be honored with all your presence. And with that said, I wish to mention that the alternative national budget for the year 2022 is going to be presented by both myself as party president as well as my vice president, Mr. Henry Muleya. Apparently, both of us are chartered accountants. So it gives that solid foundation on the basis of which the alternative budget was actually developed. That said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into the substance of why we are here. And on that note, I'll call upon my Vice President, Mr. Henry Muleya, to present the first part of the budget. Comrade Vice President. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media, fellow countrymen and women, invited guests, may I just say all protocols observed. As patriots for economic progress, we have always been resolute in the belief that each and every citizen of this great nation must and should have a say on how the financial resources of this nation are generated and utilized. That we are bona fide citizens of this republic is undeniable. That we have inalienable right to scrutinize how our national resources are utilized is beyond question. It is for this reason that I now beg to unveil the PEP alternative national budget for the financial year from 1st January 2022 to 31st December 2022, presented to this Republic of Zambia as an alternative to the official GRZ national budget, which was presented to the nation through the National Assembly on Friday, 29th October 2021. Venerable ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor and privilege to stand here this morning and present to the nation yet another hallmark of our party's painstaking vision, hard work, patriotism, and dedication to duty. Indeed, we as a party take our responsibility as an opposition to the government of the day very seriously. As previously stated, we neither tire nor slumber in the discharge of our duties as an opposition political party in Zambia. Oftentimes, a question is raised as to what the duties of an opposition political party really are. Suffice to mention that no definition really exists in our constitution, nor any subsidiary legislation, but from our point of view, the duties of an opposition political party are twofold. Firstly, an opposition political party must hold the government of the day accountable by providing checks and balances on its management of national resources. And secondly, an opposition political party must provide alternative solutions to national problems so that the electorates can be availed a basis for selecting a given political party. I'm happy to announce that this PEP 2022 alternative national budget achieves both key objectives of an opposition political party. Distinguished countrymen and women, as per tradition, the PEP 22 alternative national budget is made up of 4 key parts, being firstly, a detailed review of the main economic policies implemented by government in the past years. Secondly, a detailed review of policy changes proposed by government in the 2022 official national budget. Thirdly, a detailed presentation of the PEP proposed economic reforms for 2022. And fourth, a detailed presentation of the PEP proposed expenditure and resource envelope for 2022. With regard to the PEP proposed expenditure and resource envelope for 2022, the PEP alternative national budget will present a line-by-line comparison to the official budget, and all significant variations shall be explained and justified. As Patriots for Economic Progress, wish to take this opportunity to place it on record that we remain the only opposition political party in this country that has been consistently and continuously developing and presenting alternative national budgets since our foundation and formation in October 2016. The last time when any other opposition political party ever developed and presented an alternative national budget was in 2004 by the late Anderson Kambela Mazoka. As a party, we further wish to seize this occasion to appeal to other political parties for them to build the necessary internal capacity which will allow them to develop and present their respective alternative solutions to Zambia's economic problems through alternative national budgets. If all opposition political parties were to develop and present alternative national budgets, it would give the nation, the Zambian voters, a better opportunity to analyze and choose their preferred political party on the basis of such political parties' plans for this nation. Should they be given an opportunity by the Zambian people to preside over the affairs of the Republic. Indeed, time and again, political leaders have accused the Zambian voters of being shallow and only voting on the basis of songs. However, our view is that it is unreasonable for us as political leaders to rush to condemning the Zambian voters for being shallow and voting only on the basis of songs, when the only thing that we offer the Zambian voters is a song. Distinguished countrymen and women, on behalf of the party, I was given the task of presenting this 2022 alternative national budget together with our party president and on behalf of the National Organizing Committee. Distinguished citizens, this is the 60th PEP alternative national budget that we are presenting to the citizens of the Republic today, 11th November 2021, at Palm Valley Resort, Lusaka. The Patriots for Economic Progress presented its first alternative national budget on 4th November 2016 at Protea Hotel, Lusaka, and the second was presented to the nation on the 30th of October 2017 at Radisson Blu Hotel, while the third PEP alternative national budget was presented to the nation on the 29th of October 2018 at Intercontinental Hotel. The fourth PEP alternative national budget was presented on the 7th of November 2019 at Intercontinental Hotel, while the fifth PEP alternative national budget was presented last year on October 8, 2020, right here at Palm Valley Resort. Fellow citizens, our political party has 4 core values, being patriotism, accountability, competence, and courage. The decision to prepare and present this PEP 2022 alternative national budget is furtherance of each of our 4 core values. Finally, this PEP alternative 2022 national budget is a demonstration of our patriotism to this nation that we love so much, because only people who love and cherish this country dearly would sacrifice their personal financial resources and time to organize and undertake an event like this one, where alternative solutions to national problems are presented freely to the citizenry and the government for their consideration. Secondly, this PEP 2022 alternative national budget is a demonstration of our emphasis on the second core value of our party, being accountability. Because unlike other opposition political parties who engage in mere rhetoric of how they would manage our economy once elected into office, as Patriots for Economic Progress, we are able to document our plans for turning around the fortunes of this nation. into this tangible document, which is presented to the nation, the Zambian people, for their scrutiny and possible criticism. This distinguishes us from those other evasive and elusive political leaders that only specialize in standing on the tallest anthill, proclaiming that they have solutions to turn around our ailing economy, while failing to document their alleged solution in alternative budgets so that it can be subjected to scrutiny by the Zambian people. The coming into office by the new Dawn government has also proved that it is beneficial to develop alternative national budgets while you are in opposition, so that you can have somewhere to start from when you form government. Fellow countrymen and women, it is for this reason that we in the Patriots for Economic Progress strongly believe that if we are going to offer ourselves to be considered by the Zambian people to run the affairs of this nation through a PEP government in 2026, then we must not only be ready, but also willing to allow the Zambian people to scrutinize us and our plans for this nation. There is no better way for the Zambian people to scrutinize our plans for this nation than through an alternative national budget such as this one. Through our deeds and not only our words, we are asking the Zambian people to judge us accordingly. Thirdly, this PEP 2022 alternative national budget is a demonstration of our third core value, which is competence, because it reflects our extensive level of understanding of the Zambian economy. What has been done wrongly in the past 57 years by various successive governments, including the current new Dawn government, and the fresh policies that the PEP government will adopt in 2026 and beyond, so that we can be able to successfully and efficiently convert our economic potential into actual national wealth. For the benefit of our citizens, we find it almost blasphemous that the majority of our citizens live in absolute poverty and squalor, despite the huge economic potential that our country holds in sectors such as tourism, agriculture, mining, manufacturing, visual arts, etc., etc. This PEP 2022 alternative national budget is a further demonstration of our fourth core value of courage in more ways than one, in a country where the nation agenda is set by those who speak the loudest and not necessarily by those who speak the most sense. It is inevitably an uphill battle requiring a double dose of courage to try and change the mindset of our citizens and make them realize that our national agenda must be set by the most reasonable, most competent, and most visionary of our citizens, and not the loudspeakers and bootlickers that currently dominate governance of our great nation, Zambia, at the moment in both the ruling party and in the opposition. Indeed, when we presented our first PEP alternative national budget way back in 2016, we were ridiculed and scorned by both those in the then ruling party and those in the main opposition and now ruling party. They said that developing an alternative national budget is a meaningless effort and sheer waste of time. However, despite all those obstacles, the leadership and membership of the Patriots for Economic Progress remained unfazed. We continue to develop alternative national budgets year in and year out. With the passage of time, the previous government began to warm up to the PEP alternative national budgets. We are yet to determine what the attitude of the new Dawn government is going to be with regard to alternative national budget. However, we wish to encourage government to adopt a lot more of our recommendation in the interest of the well-being of the Zambian people. This is a testimony enough that our effort to consistently and continuously develop and present PEP alternative national budgets in the past 5 years has not been in vain, but has had positive impacts on both the citizens of Zambia and government. We are resolute in our belief that developing a nation should be a collective effort by all citizens and not an exclusive preserve of the ruling party. As Patriots for Economic Progress, we wish to put it on record that we are not shy to stand up and tell the entire nation that we are the most patriotic, most accountable, most competent, most courageous, and most visionary political party that has ever existed in the history of this republic. For those who might feel that our statement above constitutes boasting, we wish to explain to them that if you are able to prove your claim, then it is not boasting, but rather a statement of fact. It is only boasting if you cannot prove your claim. As Patriots for Economic Progress, we are very proud of this achievement of developing and presenting the PEP 2022 Alternative National Budget because it demonstrates to the nation at large that we are not only able to provide adequate checks and balances on the government of the day, but also knowledgeable enough to craft and present alternative development and economic management policies needed for the betterment of our motherland, Zambia. As Party Vice President and on behalf of the Party President for the Patriots for Economic Progress, it is my singular honor and privilege to announce to the nation that we shall continuously and consistently develop and present alternative national budgets until 2026, and when we expect to form government. This PEP 2022 Alternative National Budget is based on the PEP vision for Zambia as well as the party manifesto. During the preparation of this PEP 2022 Alternative National Budget, the party's National Organizing Committee made consultation with various relevant stakeholders, including the Ministry of Finance, members of parliament, civil society organizations, and the general citizenry of this republic. These consultations assisted us to see national issues in their proper perspective, and not from the perspective of an outsider. In this regard, the PEP 2022 Alternative National Budget must not be seen as competing with the official 2022 national budget, but rather as complementing the official budget in the areas that the official budget might be deficient. Fellow countrymen and women, allow me now to announce that the theme of the PEP 2022 Alternative National Budget is achieving economic growth and creating jobs without borrowing. Let me repeat the theme: achieving economic growth and creating jobs without borrowing. This theme underscores the fact that Zambia's current and past economic problems primarily arise from our poor management of the resources that we have. Therefore, in order to defeat our economic problems and rise as a prosperous nation that is devoid of poverty and squalor among its citizens, we do not need to borrow from anyone. We do not need an IMF bailout package. We do not need handouts from the international community. What we need is to prudently manage our resources so as to achieve sustainable growth, development for ourselves. We need to be able to convert our huge economic potential into actual wealth for the benefit of the people. I will give you just a review of the economic potential, and then I'll hand over to the President to come and continue with the budget presentation. Distinguished fellow citizens, our nation, the Republic of Zambia, is a nation that is endowed with numerous natural resources and has unparalleled economic potential in the region. For all intents and purposes, we are by now supposed to be a first world country. But 57 years after independence, we are nowhere near economic prosperity. Instead, we are a third world country with increasing levels of poverty, squalor, political violence, disease, corruption, police brutality, tyranny, and a total lack of vision. The question we must ask ourselves is, why? Why are we so poor and yet we have so much economic potential? Why are our citizens dying every rainy season from preventable diseases such as cholera? Why do we have to endure 8 hours or more, some 3 days of no power in their homes? 57 years after independence. Why? Or perhaps the most pertinent question that we must ask ourselves as bona fide citizens of the Republic is, how did we get here? How did we end up with an economy that only benefits a select few and leaves everyone else in poverty and squalor with no jobs, no business opportunities, and no hope? How did we get here? Or more importantly, how can we get out of this dark place to a place of economic prosperity and hope for the citizens of this great republic? Distinguished fellow citizens, our nation Zambia has very fertile land, an abundance of fresh water from its main rivers, a stable security environment with no history of war or armed conflict, an abundance of wildlife, and other tourist attractions such as exotic lakes and Mount Victoria Falls, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. We have a diverse culture with more than 72 languages spoken. Predominantly hardworking population, yet we remain one of the poorest countries in the region. Our citizens frequently go and look for jobs as teachers and other professions in the neighboring Botswana and Namibia, whose land is about 80% desert. The question we must ask again ourselves is, why? Why are we so poor? Is it acceptable for us to be this poor? Should we accept our poverty and permit our children and their children to be subjected to it as well? Or we must stand up and challenge our poverty? This PEP 2022 alternative national budget that is today being presented will seek to answer the questions of why we have become poorer and poorer as a nation with the passage of time since 1964. As a nation, we have continuously failed to develop and implement a clear and comprehensive plan of action to convert our economic potential into actual wealth for the benefit of our citizens. And yet, with the passage of time, most of our economic potential, such as mineral wealth, is slowly but systematically dwindling, with nothing much to show for it. Sooner rather than later, we are going to start saying that Zambia used to have economic potential. Before such a day comes, we need to immediately embark on a plan of action to convert our economic potential into actual wealth for the benefit of the citizens of this republic. Let us now look at the economic overview for 2022 official budget. Vulnerable countrymen and women, in undertaking a detailed review of the 2022 official national budget, we wish to begin by thanking the Minister of Finance, Honorable Stumbeko Msokotwane MP, together with his team, for the effort and hard work that went into the development of the 2022 national budget, which was presented to the nation through Parliament on Friday, 29th October 2021. Indeed, developing a national budget a few months after ascending to power could not have been an easy task. With regard to the theme of the 2022 official national budget, which is growth, jobs, and taking development closer to the people, our view is that there could not have been a better theme. This theme acknowledges the fact that in order to uplift the living standards of our people, we need to grow the economy and create jobs. And also that development needs to be taken closer to the people through decentralization. The only question that requires to be answered is how best to achieve economic growth, how best to create jobs, and how best to decentralize. In part 1 of the national budget, the minister correctly acknowledges in paragraph 16 that copper prices on the world market have significantly risen to average $9,194 per metric ton between January 2021 and September 2021, compared to an average of $5,884 over the same period in 2020. However, the minister failed to explain why copper prices being that high, his new Dawn government has not provided policy directions with regard to ongoing liquidation of KCM and the purchase agreement for Mopani. The policy uncertainty surrounding these two mining houses has dire consequences on the Copper Belt province in particular and the nation at large. The minister should have addressed this issue of whether or not government will proceed with attempted liquidation of KCM, as well as whether or not government will proceed with the purchase of Mopani. On the macroeconomic objectives for 2022, our view is that we are not ambitious enough. An objective is supposed to be reasonably ambitious, otherwise it loses its purpose of driving performance. A GDP growth rate target of 3.5% for 2022 is too low by any standards, especially given the fact that we are coming from an era of economic contraction. A target real growth of 5% would have been more reasonable. Equally, the target of 3 months import cover for gross foreign reserves from the current 5 months of import cover actually represents a deterioration and not an improvement. We further note that with projected gross domestic product GDP at 406 billion kwacha and projected total tax revenue of 77.852 billion, the targeted tax revenue to GDP ratio for 2022 fiscal year stands at 16.7%, against an average of 17.2% over the past 10 years. This actually represents a deterioration and is a display of a total lack of ambition on the part of the Minister of Finance, especially given the fact that Zambia's tax revenue to GDP ratio is the lowest in the region. South Africa's tax revenue to GDP ratio has averaged 25% in the past 5 years, whereas that of Zimbabwe is 23%, Botswana 26%, Namibia 27%, and Lesotho 24%. Under these circumstances, we would have expected the minister to set a tax revenue to GDP ratio target of at least 20% for 2022. It is equally upsetting to note that despite Zambia's having the lowest tax revenue to GDP ratio, the minister took various active steps to give tax concessions to various sectors, including making mineral tax as a tax-deductible expense in the computation of income tax for the mines, which makes it doubtful that any mining company will ever pay corporate tax because they will always be in loss position. Instead of putting in place measures that would enhance the collection of tax from the mining sector, the minister effectively put into effect a measure that will undermine the ability of the Treasury to collect revenue. Other tax concessions include an income tax holiday for ceramic goods producers. These are grossly unnecessary tax concessions which will only serve to undermine the country's ability to fiscally become sustainable. With regard to the proposed expenditure for the 2022 fiscal year, amounting to 173 billion kwacha, our view is that it is bloated as it represents about 37.1% of GDP and further represents a 44.6% increase from the 2021 proposed expenditure of 119.6 million. It is unreasonable to grow your expenditure by 44.6% when your economy has actually contracted during the period under review. Such behavior is reckless, and we did not expect it from the UPND administration, especially given how passionately President Hakainde Hichilema spoke about fiscal discipline while in opposition. Distinguished countrymen and women, our further disappointment arises from government's continued failure to adhere to its own budget year in and year out. Indeed, government has always found it fashionable not to fund items that have been provided for in the national budgets, yet fund items that were never provided. We hope this will not be the case with the new Dawn government. It is for this reason that we wish to re-echo calls for the amendment of the law so that the Minister of Finance can be compelled to present to Parliament a line-by-line review of the extent to which the previous year's national budget was funded before presentation of the next national budget. Such a law will ensure accountability, transparency in the actual use of public resources. We are hopeful that the new Dawn government will support such a proposed law. As Specialists for Economic Progress, we bemoan the proposal by government to borrow 41.8% of money needed to fund the 2022 national budget, which amounts to 72.3 billion. Indeed, one of the main reasons why our economy has faltered is because of excessive borrowing. Therefore, it beats logic how government believes that additional borrowing can be a solution to the current problem of excessive borrowing. Our view is that the only way that we can come out of our current economic downward spiral is by increasing our economic productivity as well as ensuring adequate domestic resource mobilization. When it comes to domestic resource mobilization, we are saddened by the realization that government has continued to fail to create the necessary capacity and capability for the Zambia Revenue Authority by putting in place the necessary conducive policy framework necessary for ZRA to collect tax revenue. Indeed, year in, year out, we've witnessed continued lethargy on the part of government to enact laws that are necessary for ZRA to collect tax revenues, which is already provided for in the national budget. Additionally, government has consistently failed to adequately fund ZRA so that it can attract and retain appropriately qualified and experienced personnel necessary for the authority to diligently discharge its mandate. The total culmination of this failing on the part of government is that Zambia has the lowest tax revenue to GDP ratio of 17% in the region. We are literally failing to milk the cow. And instead of seeking to find new and better ways of milking the cow, our tunnel vision towards increasing the size of the cow. We are failing to milk the available cow with our milk, but instead we are looking for more cow. As Specialists for Economic Progress, we further bemoan the continued appetite by government to allocate resources towards charitable activities at the expense of economic empowerment activities. In the 2022 national budget, we've noted that government has allocated about 5.4 billion towards the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, which is predominantly a charitable program. Additionally, government has allocated a total of 3.1 billion to social cash transfer in the 2022 national budget. This translates to a total of about 8.5 billion towards handouts in the budget. In the same budget, we've noted that government has allocated a meager 350 million towards economic empowerment programs for the SMEs. Our view is that if we are going to detach our citizens from the shackles of poverty and squalor, the solution lies in economic empowerment and not charity. Therefore, instead of government spending a whooping 8.5 billion kwacha on charity and a paltry 350 million on economic empowerment, we would have been happy if these figures were reversed. A PEP administration would have allocated 8.5 billion towards economic empowerment for SMEs and a 350 million for FISIP and the social cash transfer. As Specialists for Economic Progress, it is our considered view that government's proposed measure of seeking to assist the sectors of our economy that have been severely hit by the adverse impact of COVID-19 is too little. The proposal to extend the reduced corporate tax rate for hospitality and tourism establishment is unlikely to have any relief effect on the sector because almost all players in this sector have been and continue to be in a loss position due to the impact of load shedding, COVID-19, and consequently, they have not been paying any corporate tax in the first place. Therefore, to propose to reduce the corporate tax rate for someone who is not paying corporate tax in the first place is akin to donating a pair of shoes to someone who does not have legs. As kind as the gesture might appear, it is meaningless. In total, it is our considered view that the 2022 national budget that was presented by the Honorable Minister of Finance on Friday 29th October 2021 lacks the gravity necessary to stimulate economic recovery and grow the economy as well as create jobs. In other words, the content of the budget falls short of its own theme. I'm going to pause here and invite the party president to come and present the next part.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President, for that part one of the presentation of the PEP Alternative National Budget. We'll be convening on a 5 minutes health break. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, may we kindly proceed to have our snacks, and we can convene after 5 minutes.